Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and denominations, welcome to another episode of Loudmouth Presents Off the Top Rope, the wrestling show that keeps you in the know. Follow us on all our social medias, Mpuma Kappa TV, WAWSA, and of course your boy, the Loudmouth. We have got a very, very special guest for you today. All the way from the United Kingdom, from Norwich, and our associate promotion, WAW UK, we have got PJ Knight. He's a member of the Knight family, a very, very good technical wrestler who has developed quite a rivalry with our own TJ Tremor. Not only that, PJ is also a WAWSA All Africa champion. After the break, we are going to be discussing with him Wrestle Monster 6, obviously, his time in South Africa, his rivalry with TJ, and of course, we're going to be throwing in a few spicy bombs after that. Join us after the break. Welcome back. As mentioned before, please follow us on all our social media prompts. Mpuma Kappa TV, WAWSA, and of course, the Loudmouth. Live in Zoom with us is PJ Knight, a member of the Knight family, a storied family within the wrestling community in the United Kingdom. PJ, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. A pleasure being here.
Right. Now, you were with us at Wrestle Monster 6, a show that was well attended, and of course, the action was hot and intense. What was your first reactions to being in South Africa and being in an event like Wrestle Monster?
Well, it's my first time in South Africa, and I've got to say, it is definitely one of the hottest countries I've ever been to. So I definitely think that is definitely the advantage to TJ Tremor there. But as well, it's such a beautiful country, and just everyone was very welcoming, very friendly, and mainly with similar sense of humour to Brits, really. We're all having a laugh, enjoying ourselves, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. Now, of course, I have to personally apologize, not from a wrestling point of view, but from a personal point of view, because I did try and kill you twice.
True.
It wasn't a personal thing. I didn't see. I was new to the road. I didn't see the humps, and yes, to kids out there, speed kills. Well, almost kills. Just because I did it twice on the same road within half an hour of each other is really, really incidental. But a lot of wrestlers that come from overseas and come to Nelson Mandela Bay and come to the Splash Festival really do talk about the warmth of the people and the welcoming nature of the Nelson Mandela Bay people. Did you feel at any time like, I shouldn't have come, or, the people weren't really welcoming or anything like that?
No, definitely not. Every place we went, really, we felt welcome. That was like, it wasn't like, say, oh no, say like, well, for example, oh no, they're British, we don't like them. Everyone seemed to ask about how's England, like how you guys getting on, etc. So everyone was welcoming. It wasn't like, I just felt like I was basically in Britain or England, to be honest.
Right. And in terms of what you saw now, I know you and TJ Tremor have started developing quite an intense rivalry, quite a rivalry that has gone really personal, really, really quickly. Where was the point where it stopped being about competition and started to get really, really personal for the two of you?
Well, it was kind of one of them. Obviously, when TJ Tremor first come here, he was here to prove himself, etc. And just sadly, he picked on the wrong person. The person who's here week in, week out. And at the time, the people loved me, and he just picked on the wrong person, really.
All right. Okay. So it wasn't a personal animosity thing. It was just one of those things where it was a bit of gamesmanship that escalated.
Yeah, mainly. It's obviously his dad owns WAWSA, my granddad owns WAW, so it's kind of He wants to prove something. I want to prove something. So I don't know if there was hatred at the time, but at the minute, I don't think there's that much hatred, if you get what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
kind of, we're both trying to prove ourselves and we just collided, and that's how it is, really. But if he ever wants to go again, he's always welcome.
Right, right. Now he's been over to the UK twice, and you've been to South Africa once. He's had a few victories over there, but unfortunately, at Wrestle Monster 6, you weren't victorious. You didn't come out on the winning side. Does that make you want to come back to South Africa and prove to the people in Nelson Mandela Bay at the Splash Festival and maybe somewhere else that you are better than that single match to the South Africans?
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously, I lost, so it wasn't my greatest performance, but I still think it was still a good performance from myself. It's just on the
Mhm.
day. But if you look back, I beat TJ Tremor more than he's beaten me up
Right.
to that point. But I think we're now 2-2, so I think we've got to settle it somehow. So
Mhm.
hopefully, I can come back to South Africa, come back to all them lovely people, and give them the performance they all deserve.
Right, right. Let's talk a bit about your grandfather and the family, if you don't mind. Um, you are now third generation?
Yep, third generation,
Third
you're correct.
generation. Does that put more pressure on you to prove yourself, or does it actually give you that release of pressure to say, well, I'm not a son, I'm a grandson, and I don't need to prove myself as much as some of the other guys in the family?
No, it probably adds more pressure because obviously you've seen like my uncle Zach, my auntie Soraya. They're both signed, so it's kind of you're looking down the tree and everyone's going, "So where are you going to end up?" type thing. So there's always pressure. Everyone will think, "Oh, because you're in a certain family, you get this, you get that." I can tell everyone, hand on heart, trust me, they're harder on us than anyone because it's a legacy at the end of the day, and you've got to live up to that legacy.
Sure, I get you. I get you. Now, speaking of your aunt and Zach and Soraya and things like that, are you happy staying in WAWUK, or is the goal for everybody to go to the States?
Well, it's everyone's ultimate goal. I don't. Well, there's obviously some people out there who want to, maybe just do this and that, but most people's ultimate goal is to do this full time. That we don't
Mm,
have to have two jobs. We don't have to, have an office job, this and that. So yeah, the ultimate goal is to get signed somewhere. I don't mind where, but then as well, I want to kind of obviously my granddad's not getting any younger. Zach's obviously signed, so someone as well has got to take over this place someday. So I just want to get this place as big as possible. But then as well, hopefully one day someone looks at me, gives me the opportunity, and they'll see how good I am.
right, right. Okay. Now, of the talent that you saw at Wrestle Monster 6, besides obviously TJ, who you wrestled, who do you think that was on the bill would give you a challenging fight?
Probably, I saw a few. Uh, Probably Devon.
Okay.
Who was it? Well, I
Yeah.
can't remember 100% of the name he was on with, but them two had a really good match from
Yeah.
what I watched.
Devin and Alicia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So either of them two, really.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Right. After the break, we are going to delve a bit more into your wrestling career, where it started, a few matches and things like that. We're going to put together a highlight package of obviously yours and TJ's fight at Wrestle Monster 6. And then we're going to delve a bit more into your wrestling past. A few questions about how you got into the game and things like that. And then, of course, we're gonna drop a few pearls of wisdom from the Knight family to potential guys that want to that want to wrestle. After the break, we'll continue with PJ Knight. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Our guest today, PJ Knight, one of the premier wrestlers in the UK scene and a member of the prestigious Knight family. PJ, we spoke a little bit before the break about the legacy and the pressure that is on you in terms of being a Knight in the UK scene. Was there pressure from an early age for you to get into the business, or was it a natural progression for you to get into the business because you'd been around it for so long?
I would never say there was never like you've got to wrestle, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. But obviously, once you're around something so much, and then you watch so much at such an early age, you just become to love it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So it may have been set up that they kept taking me to go, hoping that I'd go, I'd give it a go, but there was never, you've got to wrestle. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get what you mean. I get what
So
you
it's
mean.
like you're brought up into it that then, especially obviously when I was younger, I just wanted to do it, not really do it seriously. Then the more older, and obviously when you're a teenager, you become a bit more athletic. You go, oh, I've got to at least give it one go. If I can't
Yeah,
do it, I can't do it. But I'm here today, so I obviously could do it.
yeah, yeah. What was the first match that you witnessed live as a child or even as a teen that you said, okay, I'm going to get into the ring and I'm going to give this a try? What was that? What was that match that caught you?
First, what? Just WAW or
Just
first
in
ever match?
general, in general.
Probably. I'd probably say I think it was Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, WrestleMania.
Okay, okay.
That was like the first. I still liked it at the time. It was just before I started, and obviously when I was younger, I obviously knew about WWE because they used to have like the hour roundup. Like I can't remember. I think it was like Sky One at the time or something like that. But
Mhm.
I wasn't probably into WWE. I used to just always go to my granddad's show, see what they do. Then obviously some of the wrestlers go, "Oh, you should watch WrestleMania." And yeah, that was when it was Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Then kind of that's where I got like the first buzz of, oh, I want to do that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get you. I get you. And then obviously, we are going to ask about the WAW match that caught your attention.
Probably out of everyone, it was probably my Uncle Zach, to be honest, because obviously he used to wear the mask, and obviously at the time, Rey Mysterio used to be one of my favourites. He used to wear the mask, Zach did, so it was kind of, and I used to see how much like everyone got behind him and everything. I can't remember the exact match, but I can just remember the hall and Zach coming out, and everyone loved him because obviously at the time he was Zach Zodiac, but obviously everyone just knows him now as Zach Zodiac without the mask. But
Yeah, yeah.
obviously years ago, he used to wear the mask, and well, that's kind of like the family tradition, really. Even though I think since after, say, me and RKJ, I think that's kind of stopped now.
Hmm, hmm.
But yeah, it used to be the family tradition that everyone started in a mask, so you learn how to work without the, say, like facials and everything. So you just basically learn how to wrestle and get people behind you without them seeing your face.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's probably Zach was like the main one, and well, to this day, he's still kind of my mentor out of everyone.
Okay.
Obviously, he's signed at the minute, so we don't speak as much. But yeah, probably out of everyone, it was probably Zach.
All right. Do you're talking about the mask now. A lot of guys don't like working the mask.
Yeah.
They refuse to do it. Well, not refuse to do it. They just, prefer not to do it and things like that. Do you think there's an advantage for a wrestler to maybe start off under a mask so that they learn how to work better without the facial expressions? Or is it one of those things where, if a guy's good enough, he's not gonna have the mask on?
I think I don't think there's anything wrong with everyone giving it a go. Like,
Mhm.
obviously, I've heard the stories. Everyone go, "Oh, I ain't wearing a mask," but it'll always help you, especially at the start. It's more for like your body language and everything, because you can be the best talker in the world, but if you can't sell properly, people aren't going to care.
Right.
So it obviously helps you to sell because you can't. Most people can't hear or can't see your facial expression. You have to sell through your body, where most people, they'll talk their way, but then if someone sees it and they can't sell it properly, that's the main thing of wearing a mask. You learn how to sell more.
Mhm.
Which
Mhm.
this day and age, I don't know, maybe it is a lost art, I suppose, with most people, but I still think that, well, most people that I know how to sell, so I don't think it's a lost art, but I just think it's a art people don't really want to learn nowadays.
Sure. Sure. In your opinion, now obviously, you know, everybody has their hot take about professional wrestling and things that they agree with or not agree with and things like that. Now, in your opinion, what is your hot wrestling take that people might not agree with, but that's your opinion, and people are going to have to go very far to change your mind?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know. I don't know. Mine is mainly just things that make sense, if you know what I mean. Like, I
Hmm.
see a lot of stuff nowadays and people doing, I don't know, like a Canadian destroyer to me. Like, it's good. It's good the once, but when I see it like 3 times a match, I just go, well, you just, even though it's such a great move, you kill it.
Yeah, yeah,
Just do it that once. You don't have to do it 3 times in a match, or you just see people no sell something. Like, I'm one of those. If we're going into the wrestling thing, it's got, if you're gonna say no sell something, you gotta you gotta make sure it's right and make sure that it's not where someone goes, oh, that's not believable. Do you
right.
get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get
So
what you
say
mean.
say a chop. If someone no sells a chop, I kind of get that. But if someone no sells a Canadian destroyer when you're landing on your head, you're gonna go, come on, at least make it look believable.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I get you.
Because obviously, in a pub fight, if someone chopped you, most of the time it sting, but most of the time you just are gonna no sell it.
Yeah,
But say if someone put you on your head, most of the time you're not going to get up. So I don't know. It's always just where the place in a match is where I argue with things most of the time.
right, right. Now, we're going to have another ad break quickly, but before we do that, I want to ask you a question, and sometimes people avoid this question, but if you can answer it, I'd be most grateful. Out of the WAW UK locker room, who has the most punchable face?
Most punchable face. Ooh. Uh, Probably out of everyone, I'd probably say Mr. Hayward, probably. Just because he is the butler and he has got like that smirk you want to punch. And I don't know, some of the fans or WAW fans, wrestlers might say me because I am quite cheeky, quite quick witted. So you may just want to punch me sometimes. But yeah, I'd probably say Mr. Hayward out of everyone.
Right, right. Okay. After the break, we're going to be asking some deep-seated questions, and some of them are going to be some of them are going to be light-hearted, and some of them are going to be really serious. So, after the break, we're going to continue our interview with Mr. PJ Knight, and we're going to get through to some serious and not so serious stuff. Stay tuned. Welcome back from the break. As mentioned before the break, we are with PJ Knight, a member of the Knight family and a WAW UK, shall we say, royalty. Can we use royalty with you at the moment? Because I mean, there's still so much of your career left. Do you think that it's unjust to say royalty or just to say royalty?
Well, it's one of those. Obviously, the family name you could say royalty, but I don't know if you could put me in that category yet. But you could say royalty for my last name, but I wouldn't put me in royalty as me as a wrestler just yet.
Hmm. Right. So now we're going to ask a few, not pointed questions, but we're going to ask your honest opinion. And I know I know sometimes when it comes to family and things like that, you don't want to reveal too much. But I'm going to ask, who hits the hardest out of everybody?
Sure. Oh, uh, to be honest, all the family hit about the same because even though we're family, it just seems like when we go in the ring, you wouldn't think we're family because we probably hit each other harder than we hit everyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's hard to gauge, really, who hits the hardest. I'd just probably say my whole family, to be honest. Even though we are family, we just seem to like beating the shit out of each other, to be honest. It's a bit weird, I know, but yeah, I'll
Okay.
probably just say that of my family, not.
Okay, so let's caveat the question. Who has hit you the hardest?
See, I don't really have a moment because I like getting hit hard. I don't really have a moment where, obviously, I'm quite lucky in a way. I've never been like properly knocked out or anything, and I not in a way. I kind of enjoy getting hit hard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not one of those. If we're probably going back to the thing of what I kind of hate in wrestling is when people don't hit hard, because it's just one of those. That's the whole part of the sport, really.
Yeah, yeah.
That's part of what you sign up for. So I don't know. I haven't really got a certain person who's hit me hard where I've gone, oh, I ain't wrestling him again.
Hmm.
Because I just kind of enjoy it. I just think that's kind of what you sign up for, really.
Right, right. I get that. I get that. Now, Wrestle Monster 6, we had a few guys come with you. We had the world's songiest man. We had Kobe Nitro. We had Drew Marshall. We had Saraya Knight. Um, out of those guys that you came, oh, and of course Lee, um, uh, Mitchell Starr that came through as well. Out of those guys, which one do you think would suit your style better if you were to form a tag team with them? Which person suits your style better? They could say, okay, we can make a cohesive tag team and actually make a go of chasing after the tag team championship.
Uh, they're all got they're all got something different, but obviously, if I had to pick one, oh, I don't know. Even though they're a tag team themselves, I don't know. I think you've obviously got Kobe, who's obviously just an absolute powerhouse. Could literally throw anyone he likes. But even though I've got a rivalry with them both, I still respect them in a way. And I think if I was with Oscar Hyde, that's kind of, I don't know, he's not the most serious the guys, and I'm quite serious, so I don't know. But well, obviously, power always ends all, so I'd probably pick Kobe Nitro to be honest.
Right, right. Now, I am going to mention it. It has been put up a few times and things like that. And we wish Mitchell Starr a speedy recovery. Unfortunately, things do happen in the ring, and unfortunately, it's happened to one of the nicest guys in the ring. Um, what was the scariest moment in the ring where something happened and you were like, "Whoa, okay, that was pretty close."
Uh, Probably it was me and Brad Slayer had a cage match, and we were climbing up it, and honestly, it was like I'm guessing one of the people just didn't do one of the sides up properly.
Mhm.
So we were climbing it, and we sat on the top, and literally we were like this.
Oh, wow.
And literally, we just both looked at each other because obviously we were meant to do it where we were trading off at the top of the cage. But yeah, that got scrapped very quickly because we were just like, oh my God, we need to get down there.
Right, right. Now, at your age, you're still very young. I wouldn't say budding in the in the bud of your career, but you really are in your prime right now. I would put this forward to you. Out of the guys, past and present, that you could have any match with, any era, any wrestler, any match, who would be your ultimate opponent, and what would your ultimate match be, and where would it be?
Ooh, that's always hard because you don't mind me having a top three and explaining why,
Hmm.
do you?
Okay, go
So,
ahead.
well, I've got a top three, so probably, obviously, everyone's is Shawn Michaels because he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
For more like his showmanship and like what he was and how good he was. Then probably second one would probably be Kurt Angle for me.
Okay.
Obviously, that goes back to the first match I ever watched, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle. But I thought Kurt Angle was one of the best all round, especially then. Probably number three, I'd probably say Ric Flair mainly because, well, like last week, I only had a 30-minute Iron Man match with my uncle Zach,
Hmm.
and that was 30 minutes. And Ric Flair used to go 60 minutes like every day of the week. So
Yeah, yeah.
you got to be talented to keep people entertained for 60 odd minutes. So yeah, they'd probably be my top three. Obviously, I don't know. They're all got different things, but yeah, if I had a top three of people I'd want to wrestle, if I just wrestled one of them, it'd be a dream, really.
Well, I'm gonna go a bit on this on the 60-minute match, because there was a 60-minute Iron Man match that happened a while ago that everybody was raving about, but you don't see it anymore. Is that also one of the like the selling, like, like the finisher kind of thing that is also, or the mask thing, I beg your pardon, is one of the lost arts of professional wrestling, guys knowing how to keep a crowd going for 60 minutes.
Yeah, I would say it is a lost art, but then, as you say, I just don't think many, say, like companies or people mainly. Don't know if they don't want to do it, but I just don't know if people. Don't know. It's like sometimes maybe the promoters don't have the belief in the wrestlers to do 60 minutes, if you know what I mean, or even
Hmm. Hmm.
say like the other week when me and Zach done 30 minutes. I'd always say do 30 minutes first, then obviously the 60 ones, obviously the big one, but
Yeah.
obviously just
Yeah.
to keep people entertained for 30 minutes is long enough. So I don't know. I just think there should be more Iron Man matches, to be honest, because, well, it's like the ultimate wrestling stipulation, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. I get you. Now we're coming towards the end of the year, and 2025 is going to be a bang out year. I mean, a lot of guys want to do the camp shows and want to come through. I mean, me personally, I'd also like to come through and do some of the camp shows and things like this. But if we take this time and fast forward to this time in 2025, what would you have liked to have achieved in your year at this point when it comes to December 2025?
What this time next year? I'd probably say wrestle as many names as possible, like more like internet names, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
more people will go, oh, they've wrestled for this company, wrestled for that, and just try and get as many companies and many titles as possible. To be honest,
Right, right. Okay, okay. Any plans to go and maybe do a AEW or a WWE or an ROH tryout?
well, you never know. Some just still just waiting for the call. I'm just gonna give everything in my matches, and hopefully one day someone sees it because with everything, you always need a little bit of luck. You just need that right person to see the match, see something in you, give you that opportunity. And once you got the opportunity, you'll take it. So I'll just keep working hard, making sure my matches are good as possible. Then hopefully one day someone will see it and give me the opportunity. But I'll still keep working hard to get that opportunity.
PJ, we thank you very much for your time. I know, it's busy being in the UK and everything like that, but we thank you very much for your time. We thank you for your insight into wrestling, and man, we hope to see you in South Africa very, very soon. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show for today. PJ Knight and the Loudmouth. Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope, uncensored, uncut, and raw. Take care.